Preparations for the 2023 regional elections began today in the department. An electoral process to elect the local authorities that will take office on January 1st, 2024 and will serve in the department. An electoral process to elect the local authorities that will be preparing and will serve for 4 years in the Coral Palace.
Military and local authorities met to coordinate and plan the actions to be used in the department for the 2023 regional elections, where territorial representatives, deputies, councillors, and town councillors will be chosen in the rest of the country.
El día de hoy se celebró el comité.
Today was held the electoral committee for the next elections to be held on October 29, 2023. We have the president of the police, army, prosecutors, ombudsman, and political parties that will be part of these elections. We also have the participation of the Ocre and migration that were annexed the next election. The electoral calendar was socialized by the National Registry and began planning for these upcoming elections.
As a novelty for the elections of 2023, the voting place of the Luis Amigo School will be moved to the new building of the House of Culture of North End. The 7 voting places in San Andres and 1 in Providence are maintained. The National Registry Office has already issued the electoral calendar for the elections and informed that this October 29 will begin the registration of the citizens who wish to change their voting place.
To debate subjects regarding the management of the Cotton Key Dock and presumed irregularities that seem to be presenting there, they have called different secretariats in front of the Departmental Assembly.
In the proposal issued by the Deputy Marcela Chagrin, the departmental government decided the head of the Secretaries of Finance, Tourism, and the legal head of the departmental government, as well as the administrator of the Cotton Key Dock, after a complaint issued by the prosecutor of Racial Authority on the alleged irregularities within this organization. The Deputy Marcela Chagrin pointed out.
It is already disturbing. It is already more than one person who are loose to the situation of false mismanagement of a good wish. Is the heritage of all this San Andrea. I think it's the duty of the Assembly to convene the parties to know what is happening, because the noise is being generated around this good. In this order of ideas, we have summoned some secretaries of the administration, such as those of Tourism, Finance, and Government, and we also summoned the members of the Racial Authority so that we can have meeting with them to discuss what is going on and what is the management that is being given to this property.
In the complaint made by the organization prosecutors, some of the alleged irregularities that would be occurring on the dock are pointed out. Among the 12 lists are disappearance of supporting accounting documents, overcost of printing tickets, arbitrarily take possession of part of the dock infrastructure, illegally withholding part of the Cotton Key Dock contractors' fees, among others. Until now, a date has not been specified for the development of this debate. Teleislas News will be aware of the news that is provided in this regard.
Luis Fernando Viloria Howard was sworn in as the island's new Secretary of Sports and Recreation before the acting governor, Charles Livingston. The new Sport Secretary was sworn in and will have tasks Ginny Bay will have an indoor multifunctional court where, thanks to the interinstitutional agreements between Minsport and the departmental government.
The Secretary of Sports announced that the work will begin on the refurbishment of a multifunctional court in the GNBA sector. In addition to the court, the project will have bleachers with a capacity for 100 people, anti-impact netting, a module for restrooms and dressing rooms.
Estamos a punto de iniciar las obras.
We are about to start the work next to the San Luis Coliseum. This sector has always required that the court that has always worked for the community of the sector as well as for the sports community be adapted in the best way, and it is a pleasure to tell you that in an agreement with the Ministry of Sports, where we are going to invest more than 3 billion pesos for the benefit of the community, especially for the GNBA sector as a sport sector.
The total value of MinSports contribution would be 3,109,977,615 pesos and 64 cents, with an execution term of 4 months. Likewise, the intervention area of the sports venue will be 935 square meters, which will benefit the population of the sector. The departmental administration expects to socialize the project with the sports community and the community of the San Luis sector in order to bring the works to a successful conclusion. They also indicated that with the start of these works, the waiting for the space to be adapted for the practice of sports will come to an end, where more than 1,200 people among children, adolescents, and others of the community of GNBA will be able to benefit.
And within the framework of the item activities project on innovation, knowledge transfer, and entrepreneurship, a seminar was held on how to create truly sustainable businesses.
A great project that arises from the Research Vice Director of National University, which basically seeks to bring the university community closer to the society, companies, and the state, allowing institutions to integrate and articulate projects that generate ventures for the archipelago. Within the framework of this project, a second session was held of 9 meetings that will be held, this time on how to create truly sustainable businesses. Juan David Osorio gives an excellent balance of the meeting.
Excellent, because it makes us see other institutions and other allies that have been interested in the subject and know that they now have another ally in the National University, which are the first projects that we do at the university, and they have seen it with very good eyes and very positive.
There are 9 seminars that will be held. 2 have already been developed, and it is expected that the 3rd meeting will take place next month. For next year, the remaining 6 will be made.
Yes, we have a lot of entrepreneurs, but we hope that even more people will join this initiative and participate in this session. We will be making dissemination of these activities by different means, taking advantage of the opportunity to take advantage of knowledge transfer with the National University, which is an entity that you know has a lot of renown. And we hope that you participate and that you take hold of the knowledge that we hope to transmit, and that we can make your business grow much more.
This is an initiative that has achieved many alliances in order to provide clear information on the creation of profitable and sustainable businesses on the island.
Several talks have been held by the Health Secretariat in the island's educational institutions about dengue due to the increase of cases that have been registered throughout this year.
The Health Secretariat, in light of the week against dengue, carried out a series of activities and talks in different educational institutions about the dengue disease, its symptoms, and how to prevent it.
What we are doing in the community, more than anything in the educational community, is bringing information and giving clarity about how dengue is transmitted, because many times people do not associate that the mosquito is the one who transmits the disease. And this mosquito breeds precisely in the clean water that we have in our homes.
In educational institutions, it is emphasized that the best way to combat dengue fever is to prevent it by avoiding its multiplication in the spaces where water is stored in homes. The invitation is to go to the doctor as soon as the symptoms of this disease, which are very similar to others and even to viruses, begin to appear.
Bueno, los síntomas del dengue son...
The symptoms of dengue fever are, let's say, very common, similar to a virus. It can cause fever, reticular pain, and general malaise. In some cases, there are rashes or outbreaks on the skin, so these are symptoms that can be confused with dengue fever.
For the prevention of this disease, it is important to identify what is in your home that can promote the proliferation of vectors.
The Archipelago Consumers House commemorates today 5 years of service to the islanders. During this period, the entity has served 2,941 citizens who have requested the protection of their rights as consumers.
The Superintendence of Industry and Commerce commemorates this October 27 the 5-year of operation of the House of the Consumer of San Andres, a space that has allowed the attention of 12,156 citizens on issues related to their rights as consumers of goods and services.
La Superintendencia de Industria y Comercio como autoridad nacional.
The Superintendency of Industry and Commerce as a National Authority of Consumer Protection is commemorating today, Thursday, October 27th, 5 years of uninterrupted work for the rights of the citizens of the island of San Andres. To date, we have managed to serve more than 12,000 citizens. In force 2022, we have served 2,941 citizens. The main issues for which citizens approach the Consumer House have to do with the guarantees of goods and services, protection of personal data, quality and coverage of services provided on the island. We want to invite our citizens of San Andres to continue to trust the Superintendency of Industry and Commerce and the National Network of Consumer Protection.
In addition to resolving consumer concerns for the past 5 years, the Consumer House of San Andres has had the direct settlement services, a strategy that seeks that consumers can resolve disputes they have with merchants without having to go to legal instances. Assistance from a lawyer specializing in consumer rights issues.
Now it's time for Sport News with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island. San Andres softball team has qualified for the next national games. A great performance of the San Andrean team in softball in the city of Barranca Bermeja. The island representative in the men's senior category achieved its qualification to the next national tournament to be held in the city of Cali next year, 2023. With more details, Darnell Nelson told us.
We give God thanks for the game for today, for win. And through that game, we classify if we go at the Juegos Nacionales next year, 2023. We play against Cordoba today and win 6-3. And then we big thanks to Uno who in the Apoyarwe and when they win in a all moment and believe in a way, so we want to go through. I send a big hail for y'all Uno from Providence and San Andres and thank Uno.
What a great achievement of our selected team. This news showed us that in San Andres there is talent in sports. And in basketball, Caribbean Storm is doing things well, and this time with a new acquisition, a point guard from Puerto Rico. Positive things are happening for the Caribbean Storm team. 7 consecutive wins put them in the second place in the standing of the W Play Basketball League. Andres Ibargüen 2 times nominated MVP of the league. Michael Jackson and Andres Ibargüen was nominated also for the ideal team of the W Play League. The nomination of the coach Ivan Garcia Blanco as Coach of the Week by the DBP, and the arrival today of the great Puerto Rican figure to reinforce the team, guard Raymond Cintron, 1 meter and 83 centimeters tall, and a member of the Capitanes of Recibo, Puerto Rico club. Cintron is the foreign player who will be replacing Adrian Boccia. Caribbean Storm continues to work towards another great performance with their win over the defending champion Titanes of Barranquilla this weekend. And This will be all sports for tonight. We will see you on another broadcast. We continue with Lisa.
Thank you, Victor. With Sport News, we reached to the end of this broadcast, but we see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. with more Teleislas news. Good night.